For this special little moment this evening, I decided I'd come back on, try to demonstrate a little bit more with these sea lions and how they're coming along. You can see how we've kind of gotten the ears out well, and I'm going to do a little bit more looking at some online to try to make sure I get these a little better as they can be. But there's a little thing I want to show you now, how we kind of got this little line back here that makes the tail behind the hind fin, and just a little work to go to that, I say. You know, there's a lot of things I've learned about. Another difference between sea lions and seals is that seals just have front fins and they have flipper-like tails, but sea lions, they have like a long tail in the back, and they have more like the types of front fins and back fins that kind of make up a little bit more of their bodies and what they are, you know. As for this little work I've got here, come to show you a little cut I've made, and we're going to do it along the back of this other one too, make it so it's going to come out a little better and complete. And so it's just kind of the work that it does when it makes its way down to what we want, down to what we need it to be, and see a little work come in this just to brighten life and see how we go about the work we do. And so that is how we carve out the little tail of the sea lion, you know, get the dying thing down to just that, you know, and now we get the work to come in, make it so it's going to make it so we can see a little tail fin. Sometimes I say that I don't know what I'll be doing for New Year's Eve just yet, but tell you, even on New Year's Day, I certainly won't be no polar bear. You know what that means? People who do that little polar bear club thing where they kind of get in the water on New Year's Eve in the ocean, and they just kind of, like I'd say, you know, just do that little polar bear stunt where they get in the water while it's freezing cold and do a little dipping in. That's kind of not the way we see it these days, but I say, of all things, you know, we were all just kind of told little things as kids about the polar bear clubs, but I tell you, you know, it'd be strange if our city pools actually had that in the winter time. You'd have to have insurance if they did, and the government ain't going to pay for that for sure, you know. Got the little tail so it's made to shine like the light in the ocean, and so I say a little bit of work shall make its way down through us and to us, and see a little thing how this might be a little work to put into the piece, but we come down to it, just downright to it eventually, and it makes its way. So as you can see, it's like, there we go. I tell you, people, I'm getting to a point where not been in much of a social mood lately, and things I'd like to get back to doing, places I'd like to get back to being, and people I'd like to get back to seeing. It's kind of a difficult and hard time right now, doing much of what we want to do, you know. And it's been a difficult year economically right now. You know, we've had a lot of elevation come up, prices and things, you know. I'm kind of got to get the work done along here, make it so the sea line is going to come out just fine. You know, tell you about marking things down on prices later, but it's like I've shown people quite a bit of work in places where I've been, shown people quite a bit of what all I've made and what it all has always come right down to when I've done the things I've done the work I did, make it come out as special as it could be. Oh well. And so here we got the little sea lion's tail made out. We're going to make it on this other one as well. Try to make the shine in the design come out in a good way. Make it so it's going to show us a little work in our schedule and in our life, and do a little brightening up here and there, you know, kind of like times in our lives we go through the little things we do and see a little grace come down and take into us. And I see this as just one of those things where it is a good thing to finally be taking care of a good scrap, making good use of it. All the pieces we've had for over a year, sometimes I think I'd like to use them all up, get it all done and over with. But it comes down to a point in time where you realize if you ever ran out of pieces, you wouldn't have any work left to do. Wouldn't have anything left to make or anything left to sell. Wouldn't have any goals left to reach in life. And so it'll come down to where we make a little work, fashion itself long ways to us. And as for how the sea lion shall turn out, it shall be just like how it goes out in the Arctic, I say. You know, the way the work shall take us, make us all see ends. It's just kind of like the things we all come down to using and doing and seeing in what we say and do. I'd say a little work is a little health for us, a little strong life we do, a little strong living. And I say, you know, if we were all just the same, life would be so boring, you know. We would all be the same, and we'd all just say things as of all things we do, all things we know, and we cut down to the place in life where we finally get down to that very last cut on the little sea line, and down to the work that we need it to be, taking little scraps out, making little fools of ourselves in our work, and I say a little satire now and then kind of does the trick. But this is the thing where we trim it all down, make it come out so it's fairly equal and even unto us, and see little things we do that show a little sense of light in us. You know, as for this little work I say, comes this way just to say that old things could come together and be little things that shall simmer our way down to the earth in itself and make us see all things, all things, all things. We got a little work here to do. We're gonna kind of trim these back fins, make them so they look like a sea lion's fins are supposed to look. And so this is where we're coming down to a last little draw. And now take it so it comes to us and we see a little light in this, you know, and this shall be a light unto us, shining in us and telling us all we got a little good in us to do, you know. Finally come down to the tail of the sea lion and make it so it's going to look its best way. See how we got the feet to come out, you know. And so as for going down the back, we're going to kind of make it a little thinner and curvier, so it's going to look the way a sea lion ought to look. And so I'd say it's kind of a shame how this one here turned out better than the other one. I think it kind of made itself a little messy on us and showed us a little bit too much of something. So we've got the hind legs, I think, just how they need to be, and then it's going to come down to doing one last little bit of work at the end where we sort of come down and draw these little lines here, make our way to it, and see brighter days and brighter nights and brighter evenings. Oh, the things I can't wait for somebody to see and get a blessing out of. You know, we're gonna kind of trim these back paws here, take it so it's just gonna brighten up our days a little bit, you know. Could look like anything once we all get done, but it'll just kind of make it so we're gonna see a little sea lion come into shape, you know. We already got two now. There's going to come a time when we're going to go down and kind of take care of these little fins as well. But it would be a good time right now to kind of turn off the tape and try to put a little focus aside. Thank you for watching.